Hi, welcome back to Nutrition is the Key to Health. Today I want to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, unfortunately. Chemotherapy. I look at chemotherapy, and I always say this about chemotherapy, and I joke around, but it is the truth. It is the honest to God's truth. Chemotherapy saves lives. Yes, it does. But it is the gift that keeps on giving. What I mean by that is before I had chemo, I had autoimmune disorders and I was working through managing those. Probably the biggest one was mixed connective tissue disorder and the fibromyalgia. I had autoimmunes dealing with the thyroid. I had all kinds of things. But after chemo, they didn't tell me these things. I didn't really know for sure that the protocol they were going to give me could kill my heart. I really didn't know for sure that afterwards my eyebrows wouldn't grow back all the way. So I used to have long eyelashes. Now during chemo, I lost every body hair you can think of. My ears, my nose, inside my nose, my eyebrows, my eyelashes, my head, my arms, my legs, everything. So that's probably the only good thing about chemo is, women, you don't have to shave your legs. So it really, really, really kills off hair follicles. When I stopped chemo, I was lucky just to have hair coming back in. And when my hair came back in, I look like a Q-tip. I have very, as you can see, I have very straight hair. And it used to be thick and full. And it used to be black. And it came in curly and white. I looked like a Q-tip. That's what I used to joke. But I was lucky to have hair. I was just lucky to have hair. Because for probably 9 months, 10 months, I didn't have hair at all. And hair's a big deal to a woman. And if you say, oh, go get fitted for a wig and there's this and that. No. That's not for everyone. It's not for someone in Texas in the heat. I can tell you that. I went out with just a baseball cap on. If I had to go somewhere, I had a cap on. So people wouldn't stare as much. And so when I came through chemo and everything started kind of correcting or trying to get back to normal, my body started trying to repair itself from the damage that had been done. You know, my hair started growing back and my eyelashes barely grew back. I had big, thick, black eyelashes. They're no longer there. Like, there's just enough lash there, and I'm 5 years out, 4 years out. There's just enough lash there to where I might be able to glue artificial eyelashes on. My lashes are non-existent. My eyebrows only grew back to like here, like this is gone on both sides, and it's not coming in. I'm losing all my hair, so my hair is thinning at just a horrible rate of speed. And then I went to the dentist to have my teeth cleaned, and they're like, oh, you have cavities. I haven't had cavities my whole entire adult life. And then they're like, oh, well, you have receding gums. And you have these black triangles where I'm not sure you can see it. There are spaces between where the gum used to be. And they call them, the dentist office calls them black triangles. And they're like, oh yeah, this is really common with cancer patients that have gone through chemo. I didn't know that. They didn't tell me that. And then they're like, oh, well, we have some more bad news for you. And I'm like, what? And they're like, you have gingivitis. And I'm like, gingivitis? They're like, yeah, we're going to have to scrape your roots and your gums. We're going to have to go in and scrape on your teeth cleanings. And you're going to have it done every 3 months. And I'm thinking, what caused this? And they're like, oh, it's common with chemo. I didn't know that. Then there's the neuropathy during chemo, after chemo. My neuropathy wasn't bad. It wasn't so bad because I had someone tell me during my treatments of Taxol, which were probably the biggest producer of my neuropathy, to put my hands and my feet in ice water and just trade it off. It keeps the blood flow from going to the hands. So my nails came back, my toenails came back. I was sitting beside a gentleman who was getting none of his toenails came back, and his nails half of them were off, and the other half just had a terrible fungus underneath. I was lucky. I only had an issue with probably one of my big toes, and it has corrected. It's a different color, like it's not a blush, it's a different color. So that's the only thing. But it was able to come back. So I was good there. I was good with the neuropathy not being like diabetics have to go through. I have a little bit of numbness on the bottom of my feet, but that was about it. And then all of a sudden, 5 years later, actually it was 4 years later, I started having these left bundle branch block issue, to where the left bundle branch in the heart was not working properly. So I used to have normal EKGs always, and all of a sudden the cardiologist walks in and goes, let's talk about your heart. And I'm like, what's wrong with my heart? Let's talk about your EKG. What's wrong with my EKG? My EKG is always normal. Well, it's not now. You have left bundle branch block. And I'm like, what is that? So they kind of explained it to me, and they were like, oh, we want to put you on, this quadruplet medication, all these new meds. And they were, and I was just like, whoa. It was Jardiance and Entresto and all these, and I'm like, whoa. They wouldn't answer my questions. So I backed away, and I found another doctor, which is, I'm always going to tell you to get a second opinion if you have any kind of issue and you think that it might not be the right thing for you. All of a sudden in July 2023, I had an AFib attack come on with RVR. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was having a heart attack. And I'm like, AFib, okay, what is this and how do I fix it? Oh, well, you can't fix it. You're in congestive heart failure. I'm in what? And I mean, it was just, you know, yeah, your heart's damaged. And, you know, I had my issue, my tumor was on the left breast and under the left auxiliary. It was a very large tumor in the breast. It was very aggressive, and the one in the underarm was very large as well. It was larger than most people with like an estrogen or progesterone driven tumor is in their breast. So, and it was under my arm. So I was like, I don't know what you're like, how do I fix this? Like, what's going on? Well, we're going to have to put you on medication and whatnot. And the medication worked, and it worked beautifully for a while. And then it didn't. And I was on the max dose that I could take. And then they're like, well, you're going to have surgery. That's your next step. And I'm like, what if the surgery doesn't work? And they're like, well, then we'll talk about other options. And I think the other option was maybe a pacemaker, and then the end all be all would be a heart transplant. So yeah, chemo is just the gift that keeps on giving. Like you think you've beaten your cancer, and then years later you just find out that it's ruined all your organs. And yes, I'm happy to be alive. I am. I'm happy to be alive. But there's a cost. What I'm telling you is every drug you take, there's a cost at taking that drug. Quality and length of life, there is a cost. And for those that just want to take a pill to correct your issue, and you, above all people, could get out there and correct your diet and just make changes and get out there and move, get your steps in, drop a 10 or 20 pounds, and add 10 or 20 years to your life. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to do that. I don't understand why someone would want to take a pill when they don't have to. And this is coming from someone who's had to take pills her entire life. You know, I never did illicit drugs. Nothing. And everyone's like, you haven't tried marijuana? Well, no, I haven't. Why would I? I'm on so many prescription medications. Why would I subject my body to that? Number one, I don't even know what it would do to the medications and the things that I had going on. Why would I even try? And people are like, I don't know, just for the fun. They don't get it. It's all about having fun in life. Well, when you're chronically ill, a chronically ill lifestyle is a very, very difficult lifestyle. You have difficulty with your family. You have difficulty keeping jobs. You have difficulty with your health. You have difficulty in your finances because you're always going for tests and doctors, and you have medical expenses, and some people file bankruptcy, and I mean, it never stops. So being chronically ill is not the life I would have chosen for myself. But each of us has our cross to bear, and I guess this is mine. But chemo is the gift that keeps on giving. So for those of y'all that have just made it through your journey of cancer, congratulations. But keep your eye out years down the line for things that just aren't right, and go to the doctor and figure it out, because chemo has a way of ruining organs and giving you diseases and disorders that you did not even know was possible. So until next time.